Hello, my lovely friends, and welcome back to the Classy Kiwi Show. Today, I wanted to share with you all my vision for a massive underground elven kingdom. So to start out, I built a giant cave using World Painter. And at the center of this cave, I wanted to construct a massive monument that would stand tall above the surrounding city around it. And so to build this, I started with a wooden and elvish theme, moving up with a lot of pieces that were curling around, and an overall shape that came in and out as it moved upward. So with the outside complete, I wanted to build something on the inside. I went pretty simple with a nice stripe pattern coming up. Then at the base, I wanted to build in a tree of life. This just made sense with the elven theme that I was going with. And with that interior finished, we now have an epic monument to build our city around. To start the city itself, I wanted to make a few different elven-themed house designs to spread across the landscape. And the trick to building houses in this elven style is really just to make this steep roof with a lot of curly pieces curling up from the top as you see, and around the sides if you like. Also, especially when you're building in a cave like this, there's a lot of just gray, monotone color. To break that up, something cool that you can do is add in a bit of gradient and variety to the terrain just around your houses. Through here, I went with a brown and green color palette, kind of moving through, even using brown mushroom blocks in the ground underneath them to get what I thought was very cool looking terrain, just breaking up the gray landscape. I also tried to build my houses on top of these flattened stalagmites, just to make it look like they were coming up and like a civilization came in here and just built around the terrain as they could, coming through this cave. Once I had my houses designed, I could spread them evenly all throughout the cave, kind of trying to get this massive city look to it. The trick here was to meticulously go through and flatten the terrain, then really integrate all of these buildings into it. Coming through and adding in plants and flattening it out, and just making sure that they look natural where they lay. now that all of the houses are in place, we need a way to get from house to house because they are spread so far apart across this chasming area. So for this, I wanted to build bridges with really a rickety look as they kind of spread across like a spider web. So I marked them out with red wool, then came in and used just spruce planks and spruce slabs to create a very, very rickety feeling. I wanted you to walk across these bridges and feel like you were about to fall off into this deep fall into the chasms below you. Now, this build is starting to look pretty splendid, but to get it to that last place that we want it, I still feel like we needed to break up the terrain just a bit more. It's still just looking a bit too gray and brown for my liking. So to do this, I designed a couple colorful big mushrooms to spread across the landscape. The other great thing about this is I was able to sneak in some sea lanterns, that way they just gave off more ambient light, lighting up this whole dark cave area. These were great because as I started to spread them across, they really brought together this fantasy theme that I was trying to go for. They kind of actually dwarfed the houses when they were put up next to it, but I still feel like this looked very epic, just in the way that it came across the landscape, making it feel like a forest and more lived in and natural. And just like that, the build is coming to a close. So now I'm very excited to show you my version of a massive elven underground kingdom. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing to the Classy Kiwi Show. Only about 6% of the people who watch my videos do subscribe, and every single one does mean a whole lot. I really do hope that you enjoyed this build. If you have any tips for me to improve my video making, please let me know in the comments. And without further ado, as always, stay classy, my friends. See ya!